In the last part of this module, we are going to learn about lazy loading of libraries, like the one we have created in the previous part. By default, our application and any other libraries, like the Razor class library we created as a separate assembly in the previous demo, are all downloaded when the application launches. So for us, that means that the main application DLL as well as the Razor class library DLL are downloaded. Blazor takes the safe route here. Even though we may not need the components in the library initially, or even at all, everything gets downloaded to the client. And in many cases, that is what is best. If you want your application to run perhaps without an active connection, this is also the only option. But Blazor comes with an option called lazy loading, where we can take control instructing Blazor to postpone downloading an assembly until we say so. In our application, we could say that the Razor class library containing the map component is only needed when the user navigates to the detail screen the first time. Using lazy loading, that's exactly what we can do. We can instruct Blazor to download an assembly when it's needed the first time. In order for this to work, we first need to register the lazy loaded assemblies in the project file. Then we will effectively need to hook into the navigation system where we are going to listen if the user navigates, in our case, to the detail page. So since it's related to navigation, we need to look at the router and make changes in the app Razor. In the code in there, we will use the lazy assembly loader, which we'll need to inject. We will see this in the demo in just a second. We will then, on the router, listen for when navigation happens and will thus hook into the onNavigate async. When thus navigation happens, this event will trigger, and in there we'll write code that in our case will check if we are navigating the first time to the detail page. If that is the case, we'll want to load the Razor class library, so the assembly containing the map component. That gets loaded asynchronously for us by Blazor using an asynchronous JavaScript call, and then the assembly will be loaded into the runtime. So it's usable in a regular way, just as if it would have been loaded initially. Even if the downloaded assembly contains new routes, so new add page directives, these can be used too with the lazy loaded assembly.